So the first session, we handled what we call the physical components of geography. So if you have any question, please ask me now. If you have any question, please ask me now. You're moving on to the other parts. We're going to look at trade. We're going to look at population. So we are all fine. We all understood everything. Wow. Okay. Now let's go to trade. Okay. Now, when we say trade is like market. We've all agreed and we are willing to exchange something for another. So if you have a little economic background, we all know how money evolved and how money came about. Okay. And it came out of trade because what you have, I don't have. Okay, I have money. I want to buy water, but I don't have the water. So I have to give you the money in exchange of the water. Now, every country lacks something, just like every human being. No human being is perfect. We are all trying to survive and we are all trying to make meaning to life. So what we do is that we try to bargain and sometimes negotiate to reach certain agreements. Now, as a community or as a regional community, for example, West Africa is a regional community. What we do is that we also interact among ourselves. We interact with the business world, we interact with the international world to do what we call trade. And the trade can be internal and it can be external. Okay, so anytime you want to go out to get something because you don't have or because you need it, it is called a trade. Good. And we call something internal trade. So I was explaining something to someone that when it comes to Ghana here, for instance, we have certain regions that supply most of the things to Greater Accra. If you come to Greater Accra, they don't really plant food. They're not into farming and all that. But every day we eat, right? Yes. So most of the food crops that you see, they are from the eastern region, they are from the Brunga, they are from part of Ashanti region and western region. Okay. The same way when you go to other regions, to some regions like Tamale, there's no sea there. Okay, so we have the sea, Greater Accra, we have sea here. If you go to Water region, they have sea. If you go to Western region and Central region, they have sea. So because they have that and we don't have this, we try to, but then if you come to Accra, even though we have the sea here, fish is more expensive than when you go to Kumasi, who doesn't have any sea. So that is something that we are all trying to understand. However, maybe we can make meaning one day, because I don't understand why fish in Accra is more expensive than fish in Kumasi. Maybe we are close to the sea. Okay, let's continue. So you're going to look at internal and external trade, but that is not my focus. My focus is for us to look at examinable areas. Okay, what are the challenges of trading? And if there are there unions or are there bodies that has established a trading center saying that people can negotiate among themselves and ensure there is a free movement of what goods and services? I'm saying this on the basis of what we call the ECOWAS. ECOWAS was formed because of this. Now, when we say regional integration, ECOWAS is an example of regional integration. Last semester, we did East Africa. The East Africa is part of what is a regional integration. West Africa is a regional integration. When you go to the southern part of Africa, the West, where we have South Africa and other countries, they also form what we call one integration, with the Southern integration. When you go to North Africa, here we have Libya, Algeria, how do you call it? Yeah. Libya, Algeria, Egypt, and all that. They form the northern part of the country. However, we have a mother body, which is the African Union, who tried to establish a body, saying that we can trade among ourselves. If your question will be coming, it will be coming from these areas, because that event is a current event. Okay. Number two, let's understand what goes into the country and what comes into the country. Since we are doing regional geography with reference to Ghana, we want to look at goods that we import and goods that we export. So Ghana here, what are goods that we import? Now you import what you don't have, okay, and you export what you have in excess. Good. So if you look at this country, we import machines, we import electronics. Where do they come from? You need to understand this so that when you go and you're expressing yourself tomorrow, you'll be able to express yourself very well. So at the international markets, not the regional market. The regional market is when West Africa want to trade with, let's say, East Africa. That becomes what you call a regional trade. But international trade at the end looks at the fact that we go beyond just Africa. So if we go to China, we trade with China a lot. Okay, we give China our gold, our bauxite, and we import electronics. That's a trade. Good. However, when you come to Africa, Ghana, we supply gold to where? Gold and let's say salt to Nigeria. When you go to Burkina Faso, we supply them with what? Electricity. And you are expressing yourself in geography. They want illustrative examples. If you don't give illustrative examples, it shows you've not read enough. Anybody at all can just write what you're writing. What makes you different is the fact that your examples are making sense and they are real examples. So it's good you write or you know some of these things. Now, Ghana, apart from these things, what do we export again? We export cocoa. Where do they go to? We export bauxite. We export diamond and all that, manganese. We even export crude oil. Okay, good. When you go to Nigeria, Nigeria import or they give out what you call crude oil. In fact, when it comes to West Africa, Nigeria is in fact, Africa, should I say, okay, let me say West Africa. Nigeria is the one that produces much of what's crude oil, or let me say petroleum in West Africa. Okay, so they're even part of what you call OPEC. Yes, they are part of OPEC. What they do is that they also supply some to Ghana in the form of what? Gases. So what we call something WAPG, West African Gas Pipeline, WAGP, West African Gas Pipeline. That is from Nigeria. It's a pipe that has been connected from Ghana and other countries. This main goal is to make sure that because of that kind of regional integration, because of that trade that we have with them, and it's not free, okay, we pay for it. Okay, now my focus is not on these ones. I want us to look at what you call there's a regional agreement. In this regional agreement, I've already explained what you mean by regional. We're looking at region by region. So South Africa is a region. West Africa is a region. East Africa is one region. Central Africa is one region. The AU sat down, okay, and they negotiated that. How do we integrate among ourselves? I don't know. I'm sure some of you come from Nigeria. Some of you also come from Togo. Me, I'm looking forward that one day, at least I'll go to Benin, because I heard if you go there and come, you are very fine. Maybe I want to go there. But those of you who have been to other countries like Togo, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire, you will see that when you're going, you may not need only any visa. You don't need an even passport. You only need your what? ID card. It's not automatic. It's because of that regional cooperation or that regional integration that we have established, which is the ECOWAS. That is why when you travel from here to Togo, nobody asks your passport or visa. They only ask of your ID card and few things before you go ahead. So trading in West Africa has actually helped us, and starting from the history, okay, the historical part of our trade, which deals with the Gold Coast, how they call us Gold Coast, and how far we've come. Okay, so we are going to look at the AfCFTA, which is the African Continental Free Trade Area. African Continental Free Trade Area. Now, if a question may come, I'm praying maybe it comes from this side, because if you look at the trade slide, there's nothing really into it. I don't know. There's nothing really into it. So we are going to look at regional agreements that was reached when the African Continental Free Trade Area. Now, African Continental Free Trade Area was now implemented by the ECOWAS. It's a policy by the whole African Union. I repeat, it wasn't only by ECOWAS, it was by the whole of what? African Union. Okay, good. Please, any questions so far? So let's look, if you know there's no question, any question? Any question? Okay. If there's no question, then let's go. Let's proceed to what we call the benefits. Now, these benefits cut across. Anytime you are doing geography, it's a very simple course. So if people are failing and they are getting E's and F's, it means you didn't sit down to read. Even if last minute, once you are sharing, and if we teach you one or two things, like how we are having, and you sit down as a student from now till we write a paper, rest a little, review it, there's no way you're going to fail. Okay, so let me give you a clue. If this question doesn't come, if they don't say African Continental Free Trade Area, and if they say what are the essence or what is the significance of trading or regional trading in West Africa, the same thing. Okay, but these are the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area. And when it comes, you need to give a little introduction to it before you go ahead to establish your point. Okay. Okay, so African Free Continental Trade Area expand intra-African trade across regional economic communities. So we want to look at the fact that the regional communities, which include the Eastern Africa, the Western Africa, the Central Africa, the Northern and the Southern Africa, we will be able to integrate ourselves and perform what we call economic activities. And the economic activities involve trading. So importation and exportation of goods and services, importation and exportation of our personnel, or the kind of people, or exchange of what? Skills. Good. And then the second point is to enhance competition. Okay, is to enhance competition between African economies. So you know that we've opened the economy. And we say an economy is open, it means they've allowed the importation and the exportation of what? Goods. So what happened is that things that you don't have, you will get it. Two, if an industry is trying to fail, because they believe they're a monopoly. A monopoly believes that a monopoly is a system where there's only one person who produces goods and services. Let's say this school, you have only one person who sells fried rice, and the person is a Sabaho. The person can sell at what? Higher prices. Okay, but anytime you allow for innovations, anytime you allow people to also come in, foreigners to come in, now it allows for competition, which brings what? Efficiency. Okay, good. When it happens that way, now the economy is open. People can come in and invest into it. The white people, they want to invest into economies that they will making profits. Okay. Okay. They promote the application of zero tariffs for 90% of goods and services. So when you come to Africa here, West Africa, when you want to export any goods and services, you don't charge anything. They don't pay you. But let me tell you, if you want to import a car from Germany, if you want to import a car from any foreign country, how much you'll be paying on it is very high. Okay, it's very, very high. So because of this policy was aimed at reducing it. At least if there will be a charge, the charge will be only 10%. So promote the application of what? Zero tariffs. Okay. Then generate an opportunity for MNCs to both grow and diversify Africa's export base. Okay, So African export base has been very low. There's African always feels what you call a negative current account. Negative current account means that we import more than we export. Okay, we import more than we export. Economy where you import more than you export, one, your dollar becomes very weak. It affects your dollar because at the end of the day, it's going to affect the trade balances in which is the exchange rate. It's going to affect it, which will tend to affect the dollar. So anytime you're always importing without exporting, or even if you want to export, the trade balances or the current account shouldn't be, or the negative value shouldn't be that wide. Okay, so anytime you import more than you export, you have a negative current account balance. So this policy was aimed at towards promoting Africa so that our current account doesn't fall. Okay, so catalyze structural transformation. Structural transformation deals with infrastructure transformation. Okay, so infrastructure, you want to build schools, you want to build factories, you want to open more businesses in Africa. This was what this policy was aimed at, to promote international investment. Now, when you do that, when you open your economy, it's like that foreigners can come in and work, or other countries can come in and work. What it does is that it also attracts foreign countries. So this policy was what aimed at dragging people or pulling people into the African community for them to work. Okay. Okay. So these are some benefits, or should I say purposes, why regional integrations are what formed. So if they don't state it directly, that what are the benefits that this, and if they say what are some importance of regional integration, the same approach, nothing changes. If they say how does regional integration promote development in West Africa, the same thing. Okay, it promotes structural transformation, it promotes international investment, it enhances competition among countries, African countries, it reduces what we call tariffs on imports that are being sent to other countries and all that. Very, very simple. Please, who is not clear? Are we following? Hello?
Go over again.
Hello. We don't understand. It's a kind of cumbersome, like the original agreement, the AFCTA.
Okay. So the AFCTA as a game changer. Now, let me go over again. Please, sometimes some of you in the course of teaching, go back to your phones. Please kindly pay attention. Now, what we are saying is that in 2018, okay, the African Union sat down. Yeah, I'm going over again in just 2 minutes. African Union sat down and they were like, okay, beside the regional level, we want to integrate a regional level that will affect every economy, okay, or that will affect every country. So when we say regional integration, we are looking at, I already mentioned that we are looking at particular regions, which is the Western region, Central region of Africa, Eastern region of Africa, Northern region of Africa. Okay, so their emphasis was to promote trade between these states, or between, if West Africa is trading with East Africa, or North Africa is trading with what? That's what they wanted to enhance. Okay, good. And I was saying that in case you go to examination hall, and if they tell you they cannot, sometimes they can limit it to only AFCTA. So the AFCTA is from the African Union to make sure member states or countries in Africa that have been grouped into regions trade among themselves. That is what they wanted to achieve. And I'm saying that when you go into the exams, and if it comes, that what are the benefits of regional trade, or what are the benefits, why, or what benefit does Ghana gains from trading with what other countries. The same thing, the same approach. Yes, you just have to use your head. You just have to use your mind. You just have to be tactical a little. You have to be a student. Let me put it that way. You have to be a student. So instead of putting everything like in the mode of the whole Africa, we can limit it to what only Ghana. Okay, so I said it expands intra-Africa trade. Intra-Africa trade means the regions or the regionals will trade among ourselves. So East Africa will be trading. You see, when you go to East Africa, we have a particular resource that they have. If you come to West Africa, we have a particular resource that we have in abundance. We go to the North Africa, because of high concentration of hydrocarbons, you have a lot of petroleum. You get it? So the goal was to unite Africa, integrate Africa when it comes to trade. Okay, good. That is what they seem to achieve. And I was saying that anytime you open your economy, it's like that any other any other country can also come into your country to trade. It enhances competition. Now let's assume that at first we used to have only Ghana Cement producing cement, but now we have other companies. If not for regional integration that we are having, we already have Nigerians coming here to also produce cement. Now when you go to Circle, the number of Nigerians we have over there are many. Okay, this is due to the regional integration that we have as a country, or as a country with other countries. Okay, please, who is still not understanding? So we are all fine now. Oh, thank God. So I was saying to promote the application of zero tariffs. What are tariffs? Anytime you import goods, or anytime you want to send goods from one country to the other, it's very expensive. Sometimes the price on the importation is even higher than the actual price of the product. Okay, so what you have to do is that the regional integration was aimed at reducing it, take that 90%. They want member states to trade among themselves. I don't know if how many of you have ever crossed the border to either Ivory Coast or let's say Togo. If you're going, they only check the fact that you're not sending illegal things or bad things to other countries. They only check and they don't really charge anything on it. But if
Hi.
Barrister, please, you've been muted.
oh, sorry.
The way
And I've been talking for like more than 3 minutes.
Hey, Jack.
Sorry. So I was saying, so what was I? Have I talked about the second one, the competition? Okay, then.
zero.
Okay, zero tariffs. Okay, with the zero tariffs, I was saying that any country, if you want to import or export goods, you are being charged based on the quantity that you're bringing in. This policy was aimed at reducing the amount that comes in by 90%. My line is breaking there. By 90%. Such that when you import any good and service into the country, because you are part of the regional integration, you're not going to pay that full amount that you're supposed to pay. You're supposed to pay only 10% of the amount. Okay. In fact, they cannot give it to you free of charge, but at least if they are smashing 70% out, then I think it's a good one. Okay. Then the fourth one I was talking about, grow and diversify Africa's export base. Okay. Oh, that one contributing factor to the dollar rate now is this. Anytime you live in the country where you import more than you export, okay, you import, your dollar becomes weak or your currency becomes weak. So one contributing factor why our currency is always down or below the dollar is because we import goods more than we export. I'm saying this because anytime you want to import goods, you need to convert the currency into dollars, okay, before you can buy those goods outside. Those of you who trade, who are into forex trading and online business and all that, anytime you want to buy good from the outside, you need to convert your currency to dollar before you can purchase it. Okay. So anytime you import more than you export, you lose value. So this policy was aimed at what? Making sure African is able to export more goods. It's like that even if you're going to get negative trade balance, it won't be too high. Okay. So the next point was to catalyze on what? Structural transformation. Okay. So in it, catalyze structural transformation, we're talking about infrastructure development. Beside the trade, we are looking at integrating the African community and building a structured economy like that we have factories, we have industries, we have companies within the economy. Okay, by reducing tariffs and by doing this, you are looking at building factories among member states. Okay. Okay, somebody said, what's the meaning of MNCs, multinational companies, or multinational corporations, sorry, multinational corporations. Okay, so multi means plenty, MNCs is multinational corporation. This is my PowerPoint. And then the last one is to promote international investment. This one we are all familiar. So let's quickly move to the last part of the trade. Then we come and do investment. Now, what are some challenges to trade in Africa? Or what are some challenges to trade in Ghana? Or what are some challenges to trade in West Africa in general? One, ambitious regional agreements, but lack of implementation. Just like how we discussed it, you see this policy that we're discussing is a very good one. Ghana, we talk, but we cannot do it. We can only talk, but we cannot do it. Okay. Yes, that's how most of the African countries are. Be able to talk, meet as a group, deliberate on policies, but the implementation becomes an issue. Okay, it does not only work at the African level, even at the local level. Why trade is a serious issue or barriers to trade. Okay. So all these points are under ambitious regional agreements for lack of what? Implementation. To a lack of knowledge on regional customs and trade regulations, no monitoring mechanism on trade policies and all that. But because something infrastructure and transport challenges, infrastructure and transport challenges, you want to move from here to, let's say, Ouagadougou. Yes, you will be in traffic, one, The road are bad too. Yes. So that's what we're talking about. The infrastructures are not good. The transport too are not good because of what? Poor road network. I always say they want to see examples. So make sure you provide yourself with examples. Let's move forward. So absence of political commitment to regional integration. Okay, absence of political commitment. So people are now, even in Ghana here, it happens. People are loyal to their political party more than what? More than the economy. So you could see that the economy is not good, but you see people organizing rallies, organizing all that. Why? You should have the answer. Because of what? That political commitment. People are more committed. If I say political commitment, I mean, you see, when you go to ECOWAS, they appoint the ECOWAS chairperson, right? The ECOWAS chairperson is not much interested in the well-being of ECOWAS than the country. So the person is much interested in what the country more than the ECOWAS. That's what we mean by absence of what political commitment. They are not committed to ensuring what the policy that they've implemented. They are rather interested in what their own. So that brings us to the next one. So national interest overrides regional interest. Of course, I'll make sure my home or my members are satisfied because they voted me into power. You get it? Yes. So that's the idea here. That people have national interest. Of course, if Akufo-Addo becomes the ECOWAS chairperson and there's any good policy, he will want to consider Ghanaians first before he goes out there to consider the other people. Okay, another challenge is a complex, non-transparent or lengthy custom procedures. Ghana Customs Service is not easy. It's not easy. If you go to the airport, I don't think they work. Okay, the customs, whether airport, whether the borders, or whether at the sea or wherever they are, these people will make sure you are being stressed out so that they can hold your whatever thing that you've imported, or they can delay you because of how lengthy things are. Because if you allow people, they believe they're going to bring in goods that are not allowed, okay, fake goods and even weapons. So because of that, you need to go through that lengthy procedure, which becomes a challenge. So I want to import just some, let's say, cakes and shadders, okay. Because of just this small thing I'm importing from maybe Togo, I'll go through a lot of stress. If you get to customs, they are going to open your bag, check through, and make sure that everything is there. Maybe you're not coming with cocaine or you're not bringing a gun into the country. Okay. So they are saying that some countries in ECOWAS eliminated that certificate. So if you are bringing good into any country, all they could do is to what? Is just make sure you're not bringing a bad good. They eliminated a lot of it. But then if you are going to certain countries like Ivory Coast, they will check. Yes, they're going to Ivory Coast, they will check. And then the last one is widespread bribery. Widespread bribery. Of course, everybody is corrupt. All of us, everybody is corrupt. One day, if corruption doesn't favor us, we call it corruption. When it goes in favor of us, we say it's a connection. Okay, so one unofficial barrier to trade is what we call a widespread corruption. People are corrupt. Okay. Yes. So if you get to the police station or the custom office and give them money, they will allow you to cross. And it's not helping us. So this is all I'm expecting under trade, internal, external, the goods that comes in, the goods that goes out, factors or benefits of trading, and then the barriers or challenges that we face as a country. Please, any question? Any question? So we want to hold the last session. That's where we are going to look at population and tourism. Population and tourism. The rest here, yeah, in question. I hope we are all familiar with the Takrady thing, the Tardy, the transportation, the oil discovery, its significance, and how the oil is giving Tardy some problems. So If you don't understand that one, when we come for the next session, I'll quickly go through that one and then we are done. Any question for me? Any question on the trade?
Barrister, please, in the course outline, it was stated that it was trade and manufacturing. So please, can you say anything about the manufacturing side? Because in the slides, I've not seen anything like that.
In the course outline, it was trade and manufacturing.
Yes,
Okay, sure.
please. Action, yes.
Okay, so when we talk about manufacturing, I'm talking about before you can trade, you need to at least bring out something. So before you can engage in international trade, you need to add value to what you produce. That is it. But the main focus here is the interaction or the exchange of goods and services. But the manufacturing would consider how the good has been processed before it goes out. Okay, so I'm not really expecting the question from manufacturing or anything, but I'm just issuing the rule why they said trade and manufacturing, because you can't just, that is why Ghana products are not valid, because we only export them in raw state. They are the manufacturing because anytime you want to export any commodity or you want to import anything, make sure what you are sending out has been processed or a value has been added. And we do so through the manufacturing sector who does that. That is why it was included. Please, it will end very soon. Any question again? Once it ends, we can join again. No question. Okay, so let's rejoin again. Yes.
What if we are asked to suggest solutions to this trade